Hi everyone, thank you very much for tuning in. My name is David Fireman and today I will be talking to you about my first ET contact, or how I like to say now, my first experience with high dimensional beings. Are you ready? Yeah! So this is probably the greatest experience that has ever happened to me. So I'm gonna take my time. I will tell you all the details. So grab your coffee, grab your water, grab your kombucha, grab your tea, and chill, because this is going to blow your mind. So let me just start off by saying that this whole ET thing was really new to me. And before my contact, I was never into ufology. Okay, so I wasn't reading hundreds of books, I wasn't watching YouTube channels. It's not like I didn't like him, I just didn't connect with them. You see what I mean? I liked angels, I liked spirits, benevolent spirits. I would occasionally have some dark visions as well, I'm not gonna lie. But ETs and aliens, no. No, there was really something else. So when that happened to me, I just didn't know what to do with it. And it took me many years to finally realize what they were, which is not different from what you are, from what I am. And this is gonna be a crazy multi-dimensional talk going forward in other videos, because that needs time. So for now, I'm just gonna tell you everything that I remember about my first contact, okay? So here it goes. It happened on February the 12th, 2011. I was at home in Brazil, in Maceió. I spent the day with my brother-in-law, and that day actually was interesting because we spoke a lot about aliens that day, I remember. And because, you know, he knows me as a person who has a lot of faith, and he's like, okay, so would you believe if something happened to you, such and such came out of nowhere? I'm like, yes, totally. I mean, everything's possible. I feel it in my heart. And so we had this amazing talk. He drove me home. There was 7 days prior to my wedding. Okay, let me just say that. I was getting married in 7 days. And I was, of course, I was happy. I was a little anxious as well. You know, it's a big day for everybody, right? So anyway, we were having this conversation, and then he drove me back to my place. When I got there, it was around 6:30 to 7 p.m. It was already dark. The sky was beautiful and clear. And before just going up to my apartment, my parents' apartment, which is on the 5th floor, I decided to stay on ground floor and just say a few words, you know, pray for a while. And then there I was sitting alone, and it started off as a prayer. I was just being very thankful, grateful for my experiences. I was asking for guidance because I knew I had so much to learn. I still have so much to learn. But at that time, I felt I was very ignorant when it came to spiritual things and sacred things, because I've always wanted to be a person of integrity. I think everybody struggles a little with it. And anyway, I was praying, I was being thankful. And then and then something happened. At first, it wasn't like outside of me. It was just a feeling. I had a feeling like I was being watched. It was not scary, okay? Let me just say that it was not scary. It was natural. But that feeling was growing inside me. And I'm like, as I'm praying, I'm like, okay, I feel people are watching me. Who are these people? Am I being watched? And that stuck with me for a while as I kept on praying, as I kept on asking for forgiveness, for guidance, for light, for love. And that feeling was growing inside me, guys. And I just could feel it, my entire being was resonating with that truth. It was so interesting to feel it from within, because I felt it from within me. I'm just looking at some notes because I don't want to miss anything. And when it happened, I went home and I sat down and I wrote everything that I remembered, because I knew as time would go by I would forget stuff. Yeah. Okay, so there was something interesting that happened right before I heard them. I felt this energy in my body with my eyes closed. When I opened my eyes and I looked at the sky, I saw some kind of mandalas, and they were like pinkish and purplish, and they were like just appearing. Guys, I was not high, alright, let me just be very clear with this. So as I'm looking at the sky, these mandalas are appearing and going, and they're like very light color, and I felt my third eye being activated. And just talk about it, like I start to get hot. Alright. So after seeing the mandalas, something happened inside my head. It felt like pressure. Bah! When you open a bottle of champagne, bah! That sound inside my head, I could feel it and I could hear it. It didn't feel like it was a thought. Like in my brain, something happened. Something popped up. Right after that, I heard them for the first time. When they spoke in overtones, in total harmony. It was like they wanted to say the same thing, but each one of them has their own individuality, if you will. But at the same time, they're one. And then the first thing that they told me was, yes, we are here and we can hear you. I felt in my body this adrenaline rush. I stood up, I started trembling, sweating, and I was just like walking around and asking questions, and they were just laughing at first, like as I would ask these questions, is it really happening? And they would say, yes, David, yes it is really happening. You can only imagine how it felt, right? I was thrilled, I was overjoyed, I was in ecstasy. I was so grateful because that contact was happening. I was so happy. It felt so familiar. I felt like they were my family. And I'm like, okay, I know I'm not nuts. I know this is happening. Guys, please remember, that was all in my mind. It was pure telepathy. And I thought to myself and I said, oh, why don't you guys just appear right now for everybody to see? Just come on. I was like inviting them, like friends, come on, come over. Just appear here, I'll call my friends, I'll call my family. My brother is gonna love you because my brother is so like me, and he's like, ah. And they answered me, with a lot of compassion, very calmly speaking, and they would say, David, would there be laughter or would there be pain? Would people scream out of happiness or out of fear? And they started to ask me these questions, and they made me realize that people were not ready for that.